Why he fighting this? Why? What is his goal?
Do you understand the words that come out of my mouth?
Welcome back to the Immigrant section. I'm here today with my boy Conrad Osei. What's going on, brother?
Chilling, my man. Just hanging out, being loving life,
Doing your thing.
Not being horny, regular stuff.
Texting a bunch of chicks at once,
Bro, that's the new economy, man. You got to diversify your bonds, apparently. You can't try to invest in one company anymore.
Oh, shit. That's high level right there. I didn't expect you to hit me with that.
That's some Wu-Tang shit.
That's some knowledge right there, by the way.
Bro, I know. You got to teach
That's some
kids.
black thought. I love that. It's the most arrogant thing. Like, those there's like a community of black people that are just they really are empowered. Yeah. And all of their hashtags are like black excellence, black knowledge, black thought.
It's like regular stuff.
Black knowledge. Yeah, exactly. Black knowledge. And it's just a couple black people posing together. It's just like black thought, black excellence, black
businesses.
Yeah, right.
It's a regular shop, but it's black business.
Hashtag black business.
I think we've come I guess it's a whole argument really. It's just they're trying to, we're trying to find a position. So if you put anything and put black in front of it, why people feel conscious about it, they have to support the business.
I guess so. Yeah, you're right. Because there's a guilt.
There's a guilt.
You're right.
But as a black person, we know we're just trying to hustle.
Filler.
Bro.
Yeah,
it's just a filler thing.
My brother support. I remember. I was in New York a couple months ago, and I walked by some guy. He's I was wearing a T-coat. He's my brother, you styling. You check out my new mixtape. He hands it to me. He goes, you got any money I could, I'm like, no, man, but I'll give it a listen for sure. He goes, nah, it's not free. And he grabs it out of my hand. I'm like, nigga, you gave it to me first, bro.
I didn't ask for it, bro.
Yeah, right? He's like, fuck you, nigga, black thought. And he just walked away. I was like, oh, shit.
You know the craziest thing? Kind of like a New York story, too. I was in New York, and a homeless guy came up to me. I was dating a white person then. And the homeless guy comes up to me, and he's like, hey, man, can I get some money? And I was like, yo, I have no money. Right, because I was broke, really. I was like, I have no money. And then the guy goes, man, we're both black dudes, bro. I'm asking you because you're a black dude. And the guy still getting mad at me for being a black guy.
You had money and you were denying him money.
Bro, I was like, nigga, I'm broke too.
Yeah.
Trust me, being in New York, it's a full expense, man. But that's just what happened. So it happens all the time, bro.
I was coming back from New York. Some of these homeless people, their attitude just pisses me off, they come at you like you're self-righteous. Where was I? We stopped on the way back from driving to New York in Cincinnati. I think it was Cincinnati. Yeah. No, it was Buffalo. It was Buffalo. We stopped in Buffalo. We're just getting something from a restaurant. And this black dude is just biking in this corner, just around and just asking, excuse me, my brother, if you could spare old black dude. He's working that corner. He's just on a bike asking. I've seen 4 people give him money. Right? We're in the restaurant at the corner. I'm watching him. And then we're parked right there. I go to the car. As we're about to leave, he comes up to the window, biking by. Brother, if you could spare something, and I'm just still in doing what I'm doing. He goes, I know you see me. I know you see me. I saw you see me. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? I've seen you get money from 4 people. Go get food or water or whatever the hustle is here. Go get crack, man. I know you have enough for crack. Go. You know what I mean? Why are you in my face?
He's I'm trying to
I have to give you money because I did all the pity stuff. Look at me, I'm not doing well. You give me money. You're my brother and you're ignoring me. Man, get the fuck out of my face.
I'm trying to get 3 grams of crack. This can only buy me 1 gram of crack.
Yeah, right.
I need more crack. You're man.
But he got a real aggressive face. He's wouldn't he'd get violent. You know what I mean? His face was all fucked up, he'd been in turmoil. I was like, oh shit, this guy's fucking seeing war.
You ever think about this though? You ever feel I feel the economy is in a weird position where even when you're homeless and stuff, you still want some luxuries. You ever think about that?
Explain.
So, for example, a homeless guy he could ask for money I need food, but then he has money for food and he wants something else.
Yeah.
He's I want some other pleasure of life.
Yeah, exactly. What? Just because I'm on the street, I can't go to an escape room? Yes, you can't go to an escape room.
Because I don't go, bro.
Fix your situation. What? I can't enjoy the Sahara experience because I'm homeless? Yes. Fix your shit, bro. We're giving you food, shelter. It's for food, water, or shelter is the understanding.
Basics. Like
Yeah.
if you can't cover the basics, then like you only deserve the basics.
What? I
Which is
can't have
like,
a luxury? I'm not human? Fix your shit, bro. Go to
Yeah.
Salvation Army. Get in line. Like, get soup. Here's a buck. You know, I give. If I really get the sense that they're
Yeah.
not cracked out.
Yeah.
You know, if it's clearly like they're a drug addict, then what's the point of giving?
Yeah, I guess
It's just like expediting their death, you know?
But it's hard.
But then the withdrawal will kill them
withdrawal's a
too.
whole
At this
thing.
point, they're just in a fucking corner. I don't know what to do. Pity. You know,
Yeah.
you give so much. You give so many times where you see that person do the hustle, continue doing it.
Yeah.
Someone asked you at the beginning, my brother, if you can, excuse me, Sonny, if you could get me a Coke or a water when you're in there, please, I'm so thirsty. Okay, awesome, cool. I'm on the way out. I got the Coke for you. Excuse me, son, if you can get me a sandwich or a Coke in there when they're asking the person as I'm
That's
holding
it.
it. Thank you for that, brother. Excuse me if I could, or if you give them and they ask you again with this like hollowness behind their eye,
Yeah.
like, is there anything even there anymore? I just gave you and you asked me again.
You ever have a homeless guy ask you for money and then forget and then ask
That's what
you?
I'm saying. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
gave. This was again in New York, right near the Blue Note, right near the cellar.
Yeah.
Like, it was a lady, just straight up, like, 2 teeth, just, like, jittering, like, just wants meth, you know? If you... I didn't give her money. I didn't give her money, and then I walked by her 1 minute later because we forgot something, and she asked again. And I'm like,
Yo.
you're just seeing bodies and asking, you know? It's like, it's just a numbers game.
It's a numbers game for them, man. You think there's racism in homelessness? You think, like, white
No, I
homeless
think
people
actually-
still want to fucking be superior?
I don't know. Do you think like if you? That's a good. That's
I've always
like
thought
a
about that.
good social like experiment. You know.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if like you take the same dude, black and white, old beard, whatever. Do people pity the black guy more, or do they pity the white guy?
I think the white guy, man. There's some videos I've seen of, like, people trying it.
We're talking about Toronto. I'm not talking about. I'm
Yeah.
talking about Toronto specifically because like in different areas it's totally different. That goes
Yeah.
without saying. But like
If you
in
go to
Toronto,
Edmonton, it's probably the white guy first.
is Edmonton like racist or?
It's a fairly, I'm gonna say this on record. It's fairly racist.
Yeah. Have you been to Edmonton?
Yeah, man. I lived there for about 6 months.
When?
When I first finished university, I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do. So my dad used to live in Edmonton, so I was like, I'll go live with him and see if there's opportunities out there.
What's popping off in Edmonton? I know it's an amazing
Bro,
comedy
nothing.
scene.
It's a lovely comedy scene, man.
You
One
can
of-
eat
yeah.
just from being in that scene, apparently.
Bro, you could literally if
lot
you
of
drive
comics.
and you are good at comedy, you could easily make a living out there, like for sure.
But for
also.
the young 20s, what were you up to out there? This
Man,
before comedy?
This is mid too.
Oh, so you were
I did
doing
some
mics.
comedy. Yeah,
You were doing
I was
mics.
like, I slowed down a bit because I was like in this crossroads.
Yeah.
But I met that, like I did shows and stuff. I got booked because I knew people out
Gotcha.
there and
And
stuff.
I heard
so.
like people come out to the shows, and the shows there's a lot of
Bro,
paid gigs.
it's packed, man. Yo, I did a show called it's called Underdog or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's their big indie show, and it was packed, bro. Every night, it was weekly, every Thursday, I think. It's packed night, bro. And then after they have like a party upstairs and shit. But
Do they pay you, or is it just like?
I got paid like decent, regular, not too much.
Yeah, okay.
But you can definitely see there was hardly any black people, bro. It's a
Oh,
select
it's
few.
because it's the indie kind of vibe thing.
Yeah,
When you
it's the
fucking fit
hipsters,
into that
bro.
real quick. Yeah, you coming in with your idea of movies and shit like that. I want to film it like this and this.
Yeah,
We'll block it like that.
Can I get 2 titties in front of the camera?
Yeah. Art,
Zoom
and then people
in.
are snapping. My God, is that black excellence? I think that might be black knowledge.
Oh yeah, that's the only time I want to use the phrase "black excellence," bro.
I
In
like.
Edmonton.
I love hashtagging that, just ironically,
bro.
especially when there's like I'm with white people in the picture. Hashtag black excellence.
Like, yep. That's
That's all-
like a due diligence right there.
Yeah, right. That's like did he start that shit?
Diddy, I think, started the
Black
whole Black
Excellence?
Excellence movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so legit. Because he was working with, like, I guess, a bunch of, like, white producers and, like, executives. So everything he did became Black Excellence. Because it's just, it's Diddy, man.
That motherfucker robbed Biggie nicely.
You think he did that?
I feel like someone said that, and I'm just regurgitating it. To be completely honest, do you ever say things and you don't actually know them, and it's just something you recently heard? Now that I like think about it, I don't know of any sort of like, I don't have any sort of like additional proof or additional facts or any points on the topic at all. I just heard that, you know, like.
Hey,
Actually, what's his name? Paul Thompson was super passionate about fuck Diddy. He just kind of took Biggie for a ride and was like the biggest thief and stuff like that.
Man, everyone's hustling, bro. It's a whole industry. Everyone kind of, I think people fail to look at the arts as like one of the biggest hustle industries ever. Like being an artist in any form automatically makes you a swindler. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
you have to be.
like
Barking for comedy
barking
shows.
for shows, fucking emailing people being like, yo, I'm a better person to do this spot. You know, like all of that extra shit.
Yeah, hyping up a group of 5 people to come do your sketch, be in the back of it. Yo, it's going to be sick.
Yeah, it's
I'll
gonna
have
be
cookies.
sick. Right, you're just swindling, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like it.
All hype.
I wish you didn't have to do it, but like, hey, man, win the arts, baby.
It's a freer life, though.
Yeah.
I much prefer. Did you ever do any stint of like very corporate kind of work?
But I've never done any
Because you took film. You studied film.
Yeah, I did.
And then you've pretty much been in some capacity of art the whole time. You never went and got like you were never in an office even for a bit, huh?
Office jobs?
Yeah.
I've done some office jobs.
Yeah?
Yeah. I did some. I was.
Did you clash with the vibe, or you just like it was just a job and
Bro,
you were
I
zoned out?
clashed so hard with the vibe.
Yeah?
Like,
What was the job? What was the gig?
I used to work for it's like a governmental relations
In
firm
Ottawa?
In Toronto. Well, in Ottawa, I worked at a law firm in Ottawa.
Those two sound a government relations firm and a law firm.
Bro,
is
I was like
the worst case scenario of a
holy
corporate
shit,
environment.
Yeah, bro. It was as bad as you can imagine. Like, it's just because they don't see. It's a very straightforward thing. It's kind of like the template has been set out since the beginning of time.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
We do this, we get paid.
There's no creativity.
No
There's no
mixture.
room. There's not
At all.
Yeah, and it's not even that like no one's pushed to be creative.
No.
There's none of that like,
No.
yo, let's figure this. None of that. It's just kind of like,
At all.
these are your directives. These are your goals. Not even your goals. These are like, this is what you got to do. These are your tasks.
Yeah.
Get them done or be reprimanded.
I think one big mistake I kept making, to tell you how much I didn't know shit about this, was at the job, whenever I write a report or like do a research project or whatever, I couldn't go directly to who I knew would be the last person to read it. Like the main boss is the main guy that like he'll send it, like he approves it, but you have to go through.
You have to go through the gates.
You show one person and then they see it and then they tell you it's good and they take it to another person and then they see it. I'm just
bureaucracy.
like, yo, bureaucracy pretty much. But like literally I'm in front of, my office was next
It's physically,
I was next to his office, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, why can't I just fucking show him?
Because the process, like you said, you got to be following the process. Like
It's been set up, bro. Yeah.
even the military was like that. Like
Yeah.
the military was the most regimented version of that, you know? Like
Yeah.
I'd be like, because I was the lowest rank ordinary seaman, right? So it goes ordinary seaman, able seaman, leading seaman, master seaman, petty officer, second class, petty officer, first class, chief petty officer. And then it goes, and it's pretty much chief petty officer, first class. Damn. And then it goes to officers pretty much, right?
Yeah.
But like, it'll be like your little department head would be a leading seaman, or like let's say it was like a classroom analogy.
Yeah.
The class president would be a leading seaman.
Okay.
The teacher would be a master seaman or a petty officer.
Okay.
And then like the department head would be like also a petty officer. So if you have a problem or a grievance or something, the person who approves it is the petty officer, but you got to tell your leading seaman, who then tells the master seaman. So sometimes I just go to, like at the beginning, I would just go to the petty, and they'd be like, did you follow the chain of command? They'd always ask you, I'm going to take care of this time, but next time, please follow the chain of command. It's like, okay, all right,
why,
fuck. Yeah, exactly, right? Because it's like the same, they have to build a system that works on a mass scale.
Yeah.
You know
I think
what I mean?
that's why,
But we're in a unit, in a city. I know you, I see you, I talk to you, I have a problem. But it's like we're all cool, but when there's a problem, please, if you don't follow the chain of command, then it like undermines those other people's need to have a job.
Yeah.
Following the hierarchy just keeps everyone employed. You know what I mean?
That's pretty much it, man.
Right?
Literally,
if you
that's the
skip
only
us,
reason.
what the fuck are you doing? This is my job.
Like, my job is to make sure you come to me first,
Exactly.
bro. And you're not coming to me.
Don't be skipping me, bro. I got my review. I need to show that I reviewed 10 reports or 15 reports. And that's what it is, man. It's like I need to be justified.
It's like, but it's, you know what? I think the workplace is based on, like you just said, it's based on the military style of life.
Bro, I realize everything is built off that. If you think about it.
Because that was the first organization.
Yes, exactly. And then they built everything off of that. Grade school, high school,
steps,
university, the whole work, like the whole work industry, like the whole like employment industry is based off of jump those hoops, get your GED and your degree, and then you interview with us, just like you interview for like the recruitment center.
Yeah.
You do your aptitude testing, which is like what degree did you get for what role, and then you fall into it, and then you fall into it as an entry level thing, and you've got your manager and you've got your director, and just like petty officer, it's all just hierarchies.
It's the same.
The hierarchy system changed, and they just changed the whole like list of positions. You know.
Because it's a different industry.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's literally the same way. And it's super interesting. My dad in Edmonton, he used to work as a safety officer. And so for anything they wanted to do.
Was that like is that provincial or like federal?
No, that's just I think
What's
that's just
a safety
like
officer?
So in the oil fields, it's a guy that literally just checks to make sure everyone's safe. It's one of the scammiest jobs.
Oh, I get it. Bro, I did health and safety for a year.
Yeah.
I know how that's all a scam.
It's all a scam.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just walk. People just have to come up to you with random things. You know that
because we just need signatures. So in the event of a huge calamity or destruction, we have the paper trail of who fucked up.
Yeah.
The whole purpose of that safety thing is so we know who to sue or who to fire.
Yeah, bro.
We need to have a point of who gets the liability.
That's military, bro.
Bro, that whole safety thing is just like recording all the liable parties.
Yeah.
So what was it? What did you used to say, or what were you gonna say about it? Cut you off about that.
No,
shit.
it's kind of, I just to relate it to the military thing. It felt like that. You know, when he explains it, that's what I see. It's like it's a guy that is just in the middle of all this. His role, it's really nothing.
Yeah,
like you said, you did the same thing too. It's like the role is so insignificant but very important because it's the middle ground where people. It's like an anchor kind of thing. You know, like an anchor in terms of like people come to it.
Yeah. It's a node in the network.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the way, that's a computer word for that, I'm gonna say.
That's some knowledge. That's some black knowledge for y'all. # black excellence. Bro, I worked in you know Rothman's Benson and Hedges?
Yeah,
Philip Morrison. They make Benson and Hedges cigarettes. The tobacco. I worked for them, health and safety. Okay. All their workers in the plant, I would give them ladder safety training.
Yeah.
And fucking like fall training and all this shit. And all of them are like, some of them are 20, 30 years, 50, 60-year-old guys, huge forearms. I'm new engineering grad, black kid, just being like, this is how you use a ladder, showing them a PowerPoint, just fucking pissing these guys off, right? And mandatory attendance, right?
Yeah.
And what the whole thing was about was getting everyone's signature. The whole thing was to get their signature that they attended this thing.
Yeah.
Because we're doing ISO training. So to be an ISO certified plant, they all have to have this training. And what it comes down to is if you fall off a fucking ladder and you come back to do workers' comp or shit, then our company, like all of health and safety is to just prepare the company for a hypothetical legal battle.
Yeah.
So when they slip and fall, they can be like, well, they attended ladder. They signed off on the ladder safety training here. Yeah. And based on the records of the accident, they followed the exact thing that slide 7 said not to do. Like, and you know, now they get $17,000 as opposed to $120,000.
Because they've done the math, bro.
Because you know what I mean? Like that's all it is about. Just to like make sure the liability is as much on the person as possible to protect for the possible incident happening, that possible hypothetical court case. That's all it is.
Which is super interesting because, like, when you see that happening, you realize this is my perfect anarchy situation. If everybody's like, yo, fuck the training, we're not doing training. If everyone does that, it would change the way society is set up so fast, bro.
Absolutely.
It's one of the, But you see, when people fight to get unionized, some people fight to not get unionized. Like, these are the small small things just holding society together, you know?
The union is like, I'm in the actors union right now, and it's
Yeah.
like,
What do you
feels like
think
such
about that? That's
bro,
a very
when I had a
interesting-
problem,
Yeah.
the actor union is like run by a bunch of women. I went to ACTRA. It's on Church Street here in Toronto.
Yeah.
And it's like the office is all these women. The most efficient and competent office I have ever worked with. I'm all pissed off that I'm paying all these fucking actor fees, this and that. But I swear to God, when I went in there, bro, they were so highly I was shocked. I walked in, they're like, oh, you need to go see Samantha upstairs. I go see Samantha. She's like, oh, let's see the problem. Click, click, click. Okay, that's fixed. Okay, awesome. Go see Rebecca and she'll have that check for you right now. And it's just like, I come and it's like ready. There was no bullshit. Everyone knew their job perfectly. And I was like, oh, fuck, maybe this union is legit, you know? Like if you have a grievance, oh, I'm like, whoa, now I see the power of the union. But they're so mafia with the way they force you into it.
But also, I think not to play even devil's advocate, just what I think the situation is. I think there's not enough activities to keep them busy.
Oh, so they're just
the smallest
happy.
things.
They're like, oh, they go on and like,
you know,
yeah. Okay.
Like,
but you would think in that, but you know, in that same like thinking, people milk things when there's not much to do. When something comes in, they kind of milk it.
Yeah,
they can absolutely in the States they would absolutely go that direction.
Yeah.
You know, dude, when I was in the Navy, there was the main clerk was this lady named Master Seaman Renault, or actually leading seaman, right? She was like the 20-year like clerk. She ran the admin office pretty much.
Yeah. That's it.
But like it was such bullshit with like the way things would get done, because it's like her mood greatly affected the expediency and like of what was being done. It was like, oh, she's not in the mood today. And like you would go talk to her. She'd be like, I'm working on something. And just like give you so much attitude because you're not cool with her yet.
Yeah.
But the other people that like serious requests for thousands of dollars that are owed to you are gated by her that emotion. She's the type who has all over her like cubicle saying like, if I haven't had my coffee, don't talk to me. Like that kind of shit. In the military, bro. You know, it's like the most just like
the only
old
place where you don't
corporate
need,
fucking like bullshit. Sheila, the secretary, like I'm like, what the fuck is this? How do things operate like this?
It's hard, man. I think, I guess for the most part, if the organization is like something like the military, there's a huge freedom, especially with the government.
There's maximum job security.
Maximum job. Like if you ever work for the federal government,
it's the same thing. That is what the military is. You're working for the federal government, the Department of National Defense. Yeah, bro.
They hang out until there's something important.
Exactly, like you just said. Like I know because you work for what the fuck, the federal. What was it?
The governmental firm. It's the small.
What was it again?
Governmental relations.
Oh my god, that sounds like the most nothing job.
Right, it is
just printing out forms and
printing out forms, calling people, being like, "We're going to Parliament. We're going to Ottawa today." I guess that's pretty much what it is.
Everyone leaves at 4 on the dot.
Yep,
or
they
5
lock the
on
office, bro.
The dot.
No overtime, bro.
Yeah, that's those militaries that are the military same too. Like the dot. That's why I'm saying military is just like school or these old school corporations are just like school. The minute that recess bell goes off, that's lunch. It's lunch at 12. We're done at 1. You're late. Where were you? 5 or 4, you're done. You drop your shit. Like, we'll handle it tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? Like when that teacher is trying to like say like, and then remember to do the thing, and then the bell goes ding 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 ding, and like, no, don't forget that, and everyone's already dipping.
Yep.
That's literally just how it all is. That same model is carried forward, and it's built together. The whole job structure is built off of that old military structure. And
society is built on that.
The old military structure.
Pretty much. Because if you think about
militaries are the oldest form of mass human
first unionized
cooperation.
The first unionized organizations were like the Roman army. Because it was like they wanted those like...
Oh shit, this is some real black knowledge.
No, it's some black knowledge. There's no black people there.
Black
but like,
thought for everybody at home.
But nah, man, that's how it started. Because the issue was like they were fighting all those wars. They were getting no benefits from it. So things like their wives and families were at home poor,
Going hungry.
going hungry. They're like, well, like if we're going to a fight for the king,
They got to be taken care of.
Yeah.
The family's got to be taken care of.
and that's where it began.
And then they built the logistics department to
Yep.
make sure everyone's getting bullets and bread.
People to handle it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Check out when the World War happened, or when the U.S. sent out their military, or the wives and stuff. They had the whole campaign. Like these are things that like you can see the roots of it. And now every day we think it's just like a normal thing. The art is the only department in life that's literally the whole goal is less diverse from that. So you see people fucking
love
up a lot, but there's
I love
such
this
creative
world, yeah.
freedom, man. Yeah.
But that's why, like, like in corporations, like in arts more than anything else, people are just like dying of drug overdoses
Yeah.
and like in the workplace almost.
It's so
like,
free,
like
bro.
no one is in an office ODing. Like it's such a structured life,
Nah, bro.
you know. So all those weird like extreme examples of like
Yeah.
degeneracy only happen in the world of arts.
It's because art's so free, man. The freedom in itself is a curse and a blessing. But like, what can we do?
I love it. I come from super structured background. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like military, engineering school,
Yeah.
corporate life, and then like just the open ether and ocean that is the art world, where no one is knocking on your door. There's no one calling you if you're like, you know, if you're not there at 9, at 10 people are blowing up your phone, like where
Yeah.
the fuck are you kind of thing. That's no longer a thing, right?
Yeah.
You become irrelevant if you don't push yourself. And this kind of life is not is if you don't have the drive to police your own time management and all that
you
kind of shit, you're
slip
fucked.
fast,
Yeah, bro.
Very fast.
You just go into the world of absorbing everything on Netflix, but you're not doing anything in
Yeah.
the day. You're sleeping. Whereas someone would be doing a 9 to 5. You're not. You're not doing anything.
That's why they say treat it like a 9 to 5 and you get the best out of it.
Do they say treat it like a 9 to 5?
Well, yeah.
Heard that.
I've heard, well, I don't know, like, people that like I talk to that advise me and shit, they're like, if you really want to do any art thing, treat it like a 9 to 5. If you want to be a comic, wake up at 9 a.m. and write jokes. Like, the goal of being a comic, for example, is not to sleep in.
Yeah, but I don't
You
think
know?
that's a very like antiquated model. Treat it like a 95. I like that idea, but
Yeah.
I put way more hours into that 40-hour work week now. Now that
Yeah.
I'm doing this podcast,
Yeah.
we're
it's-
doing all the web series stuff. You're
Yeah.
creating content on a fucking weekly basis, pretty much,
Well,
and
I
all
can do this,
night.
man. Yeah.
We're hitting spots and doing mics and whatnot. It's way more than 9 to 5.
No,
But you have
yeah.
the luxury of waking up at 12. It may be 12 to 12. You know?
Well, that's the only thing. You have that luxury, you know, where like there's not a whole organization that's waiting for you to even like show
Not
up
yet.
or open the door
Not
or
yet.
whatever.
But eventually, when we sell tickets,
Yep.
you can't just like not show up to the venue when it's sold out and the venue is like it's gonna go. Once you're successful, it goes right back to that.
Yeah,
because
'cause now the money,
the
bro.
stakes are shared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this place is full. Where the fuck are you? Just like yo,
Yeah.
there's a meeting here. The client is here. Where the fuck are you? Like
Yep.
it goes right back to that. That's why I feel like we're really in the best of it right now.
I think this is the best time, really, especially with what we have and our resources and all that. Like, we're able to do a podcast right now in the comfort of your home. Like, if
Total
this was
freedom.
Total freedom.
Total
We can
freedom.
create what we want, and like, you doing it. Like, think of the 70s or 80s, like back in the day before
Couldn't
this
do this.
technology was accessible. You had to be in a studio, bro.
Yeah,
and for
and
that
then
studio time.
For that studio time, that the company, the network company or
Yeah.
the media company that paid for that studio time
They're
is
fucking
going to
watching
oversee
you, bro.
every fucking minute of what's
whole
spoken.
time. Yeah.
And if you swear and if you this, it's not going to air.
Yeah.
So you got to play by the ball in order to air. And when you play by the ball, you just become like this like sanded down version of yourself. Like, well, yeah, I mean, it's KB by 5 and we've got a lot of traffic on the 103 and we got Steven in later. Well, boing, boing. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I won't be killing myself today.
yeah. Those guys probably hang themselves in higher numbers than dentists or anything, you know?
Because I hate this.
Whoa,
but I also love this.
Fucking voice.
You know what's crazy? One of my not the like best guy, I guess one of my favorite filmmakers. I just one of the guy I've seen him for a while, but I didn't really take how important his work is this guy called John Cassavetes. John Cassavetes is like this New York guy. He's in like one of his most popular movies anyone would probably know is this movie called Rosemary's Baby. I don't know if you've
haven't
heard
seen
of
it.
that. It's a very classic.
Sounds indie.
It's very indie, but
Rosemary's Baby.
the movie Get Out, the guy that Jordan Peele, Black Excellence, the guy that wrote
Hashtag
Get
Black
Out.
Excellence. Yeah. I
He-
thought Jordan Peele wrote that. Oh, did you say Jordan Peele?
Jordan Peele,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
But he got influenced off that movie, so it tells you how
Oh, okay, cool,
important
cool.
the movie is,
Okay,
just
okay.
to give it
Got
that
it.
brevity, right? But his style of filmmaking was he used to make films as an actor. He used to go out, audition, do all that stuff. He became a big actor in the 60s, mid 60s ish. Yeah, the 60s, I would say. And by the 70s, he decided to start making his own films, right? Because he was like, man, there's a lot of things he didn't like about the way it was being made, which is what we just talked about. Like there's a bunch of
just falling
restriction.
into the already built system.
Yeah,
and nothing will change for you. You just got to accept it and smile and be a part of it.
Happy. And it's money, but like at one point you start feeling like, oh, maybe this isn't the direction. So what he started doing was he started making his own films, and I think that was the beginning period of credit lines and like credit cards and all that shit.
Okay.
Like the early 70s. And so what he did was they used to get credit, to get put it all on credit.
To finance a movie?
To finance their movies, bro. And they'll make these movies that are like, some of my favorite movies, like, I can't even name names, but like there's like one of my favorite movies ever is this movie called The Woman Under the Influence.
A woman or the woman?
A woman under the influence. It's him and his wife. His wife is also an actress, like a big actress, Jenna Rollins. So what they did was he is the director and like he'll write these films and
he just gets her drunk.
Yeah,
he just shoots her close up.
Bro, if you watch these movies,
more.
If you watch these movies, you know why and he'll get like his friends that are like huge actors. So there's another guy that was on this big show called Columbo. It's a very big show in back in the day. He got the guy, it's one of his good friends, and then he stars in it. And the way they made their films was like they literally tried to make it for $0, but they had backup money just in case shit went wrong or like to buy film and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And when the films were being made, $0, it was just the art. So they made it and people started recognizing it. So I think for a few years, people didn't even notice the films until years after. So like early 2000s, people started recognizing how important those films were for like even independent filmmaking. So literally,
wow, that many years. I thought you were gonna say like in the early 80s. Took 3 decades.
Wow, bro. It took a while. Like,
fuck, was he dead?
He's dead. He died.
That's a nightmare, bro. Why are you telling me this? I don't want to. What the fuck? I don't want to learn anything from this, bro.
No, bro.
They appreciated his art after he died, and that's the lesson in all of this.
But no, the lesson in it is like, if those guys didn't make those moves, everyone would have still stayed stuck to this system of filmmaking.
So you're saying he kicked off indie movie stuff? So once he started making that, did he inspire other people to make it?
He inspired a whole generation, man, of like people that are like, I have a camera, I'll make a film and let's see what comes from it.
Oh, so he was the first guy to be like, yo, let's just get a camera and do it.
No, he's not the first guy to do that.
No. A lot of people did it, but he was the first guy like, yo, we don't need a studio.
Yeah,
we don't need
a studio system.
I like movies. Let's figure out how to get a camera and just shoot some stuff. And it's not backed by NBC or Fox or any of these people.
Like when it's done, if it's a good film, people would want it, and then we can converse about that.
Yeah, right. It's how comics now. It's like I'll film my special.
Yep.
And then I'll show people to it,
which is the model they're copying now. But those guys, those are the true OGs, you know, and they made art feel like it's something you can actually like enjoy doing because you're going out and you're making what you want to do. And you don't care about the repercussions for the most part. And it's a huge risk because imagine having a family and doing that.
Yeah.
That's fucking scary,
right?
bro.
Well, you put the food on the credit card too, right?
Yeah, no, same credit
everything
card.
on credit. Yeah, everything's on that credit. Who's your favorite filmmaker?
My favorite?
Do you have one or
it's hard. It's hard to point out, man. I got a few guys I like watching. But, yeah.
Who's a filmmaker that's living right now who's got your favorite story? Like not like he created it. Not he or she created the best story, but their story of how they got into film and how they got into like their notoriety in filmmaking. Ooh. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like a Jean-Michel Basquiat, Living on the Streets, Andy Warhol, like that. Is there any like that have that come up story?
Man, that's so many.
Like they were blind and fucking like.
That's so many. But you know what sucks? I can't even name any. And this is a very interesting thing I've realized too. It's hard to name like I can't name any black filmmakers that.
It doesn't have to be black.
No, but the reason I'm saying this is like it's cause the way it's been set up. Most of my favorite black filmmakers are guys that like
have been assassinated.
No,
black knowledge.
Black knowledge, right there.
Black knowledge.
No, it's like the idea of I think they got this big break that like was kind of like systematic, like it's more systemic.
As in,
You know,
like,
it's kinda
affirmative action?
Affirmative action.
Yeah,
wins.
give him a shot.
Give him a shot.
Give Negro Wilson some money to shoot a Negro film.
We need a Negro film.
Yeah, right. That Negros. Yeah.
The main person I can think of is Ryan Coogler, Black Panther, the Black Panther film. And that guy's story, he started off as a very, well, I don't want to bite at it, but like, he was this young guy that he had a regular job. He was working this like security shit, hustling heavy. And then towards the end, kind of like he got this big break of like some white family. I was like, we'll send you to the Sundance Institute to go learn. Like, it's a whole program. It's a 1 year intensive program where at the end of it, you make a feature.
Gotcha.
And that's usually how most white filmmakers begin. So he's one of the few black people that got the opportunity.
They go to
And
the
that's the big one.
Sundance Institution.
Yeah, Sundance Institute. is
Still operating?
Still, it's one of the, yeah.
It's like the Harvard of film?
It's up there. It's up there. It's an Ivy League film school, for sure. It's not even a film school.
What's the bee's knees? What's the top? The Juilliard.
Juilliard, I would say Sundance, the New York University, like Tisch School of Arts Film School. It's a bunch of
Called
filmmakers.
Tisch?
Tisch School of Arts.
I've heard Tisch. That's what it
Yeah,
is, huh?
it's another big one. You got the American Film Institute.
Oh, that sounds legit. AMI?
AFI.
Oh, wait, AFI. I was thinking that M is hard. Oh, shit.
But no.
So he went to that. They pretty much,
did.
they're like these, they're like the rich, what are they called? Beneficiaries or like
Yeah.
the elite people? They're like, let's
we have a-
pave the road for Negroes.
Let's say we need
have-
more Negro films, so we should.
Like the Green Book. I just watched the Green Book.
Yeah, when you
on a
watch
flight.
that shit's fucking scary to watch now, man. I
He
can't
killed
really
that
watch
part.
it. He killed it, but then when I think of the backstory of it,
Yeah,
I'm like,
man,
oh
fuck.
no.
That'd be a nightmare,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
So he did it, and then he's been making how many films did he make before Black Panther?
Black Panther, he made 2 films for Black Panther, but that Black Panther wasn't the big one. His big break was sort of like Fruitvale Station, which was about the guy that got shot at the, what's the kid's name? Fuck.
Trayvon
Not
Martin?
Trayvon Martin, but the one before that. There's another guy.
I forget, bro.
There's so many.
There's been so many black knowledge, black thought.
little black tidbit for you. But no, he made his film, and I divert on that just to tell you like one of my favorite. Okay, one of the people I kind of like his story of how he got into film is actually a dude named Richard Linklater. He's like a big filmmaker. You've probably seen a bunch of his shit. He did the movie with Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Dazed and Confused. So he has a bunch of his film lineup's huge. But his story is like same thing. It's kind of like he was working this regular life and then just like, man,
Loved movies.
film. Yeah, so he just started making films.
So he didn't go to this institute. He just started.
He didn't go.
Just
He just
from
started
the bottom.
making from Texas. He lived in Texas. Just started making films until just got better at it. Got more money from the 80s. Did the big films in the 90s. Dazed and Confused was one of them. Well, if you watch his films, you can see his progression too. And he got very experimental with it too. Like he did this film where he shot for 12 years straight. Every summer they meet up and shoot this story of this child. It's called Boyhood. I don't know if you've heard of Boyhood.
No.
So it's a very interesting. So this is how he
That
approached
sounds
it.
wildly experimental.
Very experimental. So they watched the
Did
boy
it end
grow.
with Finn? Finn.
Finn, little Finn, like French and shit.
Yeah, Finn. Like it's always like in italics.
Yeah.
Lowercase f. Finn.
Bro, you know what's crazy though? Films like that, French people like it. That's why I say Finn. I just keep laughing because it definitely
love that.
ended with a Finn. And if
Yeah.
French people like your film,
Yeah.
bro, you're good. That's,
French people set the precedent for good
they
movies.
set the precedent for every movie that's supposed to be good.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that? The fuck?
It's because they love the art, man. They love the.
They're like, oh, I surrender to this movie.
yeah, it had
Oh,
some.
there's got a white flag
Oh,
in the
bro,
theater.
is it-
I surrender.
If we had a problematic button, this is what we just went off on that, bro. I love the movie.
Because Cannes, you told me Cannes is like
Cannes is
the
the
biggest
big one.
festival,
Yeah,
and it's in France.
in France.
That's where the
every
big
year.
movies like premiere.
Yeah. If your movie premieres at France and it does good, you most likely will.
So
bank.
So pretty much, it seems like the movie industry now, for the most part, they're low risk. So they're always funding sequels and like they're going for existing storylines, Star Wars, Avengers.
Yeah.
It's always a 2, 3, 4, like whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fast 9. What like you know
they
like
can't stop now.
it's just too risky to start a new thing. Like,
Yeah.
no one wants to go see. But it
Yeah.
seems like the new things are scouted from Cannes.
Yeah, because that's what the idea is. The way they look at it is the box office is what we know. You go to Cineplex, whatever you watch at Cineplex is box office.
Gotcha.
But there's always slots for like new ideas, new films. So for example, you have a movie like
Like Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems is a huge, like, perfect example of that, right? So these are two New York guys. They started making films.
What are they? What's their name again? Those guys?
Safdie brothers.
The Safdie brothers.
Yeah. So two Jewish kids, they start making films in New York the way like we're doing shit now. Just like we want to make a film and let's make it and see what happens. And they started with that, and for years nothing really came from it. Through like 12 years, nothing came from it. And then they made.
And then they died, and then everyone.
But they're lucky enough to be like young guys, so like just 30, early 30s.
Oh, okay,
just
sick,
kind of
sick,
just
sick.
hit 30, right? So they are a box of. I'm pretty sure if they did Uncut Gems without the backing of this whole big institution behind them,
A24.
A24, you have A24, you have these are like the new powerhouses that like they're going for art films that are like very independent, original stories, their own thing. This is what they want.
Yeah.
Right? So if they didn't get that
Hereditary,
backing,
Midsummer, all that
like
shit.
all the good movies we know now.
Yeah.
Like
Fast Forward won't get into this.
No.
Yeah.
Fast Forwards are made by
Yeah,
studios.
the studio already has the contract on that anyway.
It's been set,
they're just
bro.
exploiting it.
You know how much they spent on what movie was it? They spent how much money on the marketing alone, which is marketing.
Bro, I heard marketing is 50% of the movie budget.
Now it's changed. It used to be making a film is 50%. No, making a film is 100%.
Yeah. Now
Nuts.
apparently, bro, and I get it, man. I was in LA a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the billboard sizes in LA are way bigger than here. Like
Bro.
the billboards are physically larger in LA, you know?
Yeah, right.
And you just realize, man, they pay for those line of billboards all over, not just the nation, but Canada too.
Yeah.
All over.
All over, bro.
And it's like bus stops. It's so $100 million budget. They're using $50 million.
At least 50 million, bro. There's a movie called there's a movie called John Carter. It's one of the biggest flops in movie history. They spent almost 300 million on it. The movie was really bad. Like a small changes too that made it bad, which sucks. Because one of the things was supposed to be called John Carter of Mars. That's the original name of the film.
And they changed to John Carter.
John Carter. Everyone's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Because there's no context.
yeah.
That alone probably took it down. I'm pretty sure that's what ruined the whole thing. But the marketing on that was almost 200 million.
Jesus.
Out of the 300
What was the
million.
box office?
Horrible. It just failed. It got less. I think it made about 100 million.
I wonder what happened. There was a $200 million loss.
Bro.
Do people get fired? Like, that's a
Everybody-
risk. Obviously, it's a
Yeah.
risk.
I like to go down Wikipedia and click on who made the film, and then I watch what they've done after. I'm like, yeah, that guy got fucked.
Yeah,
You know?
there's been nothing at all.
Nothing.
The road ended after that. That was his third.
After I did like a PA job and stuff, you go it's like you're a PA on a shitty indie movie.
I was just listening to TJ Miller on a podcast, and he was saying that the rule in like Hollywood is 3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah.
3 bad
can believe
movies
that.
as an actor or a director.
Yeah.
And you're like the system, it just won't give you another chance.
Yeah.
Like you got to go fund your own shit and like some backyard shit, try to work your way up.
Yep.
But if you get 3 studio attempts, that's what apparently happened to Dane Cook. He just made 3. Remember the employee of the month, and he had like 2 or 3 that came out in a row in 1 or 2 years, and then he was in no movies.
Yeah.
Because they were all just bad movies, and he just blacklisted himself pretty much.
They test them like that, man. And that's the thing with Hollywood. Depends if you want to go down that route. And that's what makes it so hard. People go crazy and shit because you're under that pressure, man, to make something that people would like 3 times in a row.
Yeah,
You know, like,
that's a lot, man.
it's a lot, man. And the way perception is changing now, we're no more thinking the same way as like, because now it's like, yo, bro, if I'm not watching your movie, I could go watch 10 million other movies that came out the same day.
Or full Netflix originals, full
Bro,
shows.
Full shows. I could watch a Netflix show that's well made.
It's got 8 episodes. I'm on my couch.
I'm on my couch, bro.
I already
fucking
paid.
ripped out of my face. I already paid for the month.
yeah.
What am I going to the
Yeah,
movies for?
it's
you know?
hard, man.
So people go through that, and it's
So what do they go for? They go for Avengers 4.
'Cause
They go
they know.
for Fast 9 because they know that it's not on there. They'd have to wait a year or 6 months or whatever it is for it to possibly come on.
People will be like, I'm gonna go watch it just to make sure it's not bad, and then you're like, what?
But there's a new format that I saw with Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
It'll air in like certain theaters, a limited run, and then it'll drop on Netflix within a week.
Yeah.
So it's like they exploit all the hardcore moviegoers.
Yeah.
They get their ticket money.
Yeah.
And then they don't take on a huge overhead by going to 3,000 theaters or some shit like that. They do like a small run, whatever it is, in the big markets where they can sell out all the shows for the week run or whatever by people who are obsessed with movies. And then a week later it drops on Netflix.
Yeah.
It pretty much happened with with The Irishman. It opened up in probably 3,000 theaters.
That's a big movie.
That they went full tentpole, like full across the board screening, and then they put it on Netflix just to double up on it pretty much.
And you know what's interesting about that? The idea of like having is the new model now. You're trying to incorporate not just the film, but also like
not to alienate all those home viewers.
Yeah. So for example, Uncut Gems, when you mentioned this, like they put it out. It came out December 25th. The theater release. You could see that TIFF, Cineplex maybe. I don't think not Cineplex actually.
It was
So,
at TIFF, yeah.
Yeah, like
it was
special,
only at TIFF.
Limited theaters, right? And then on January 31st, they put it on Netflix. But then they re-released it in a couple of more theaters, but with extra content. So they had this whole,
that's
like,
how they do it.
That's the
they
new
film
one.
extra scenes.
There's a whole not document, but like a conversation with Adam Sandler and the guys that made the film, and like they had a whole thing. It's like a half-hour movie essentially, and then they add that as an add-on to keep promoting the movie. So when you think the promotion has ended, it's up again.
Like they have waves. Like this is they have a 6 to like 8 month plan for how they roll this thing.
Like
out.
how an artist would think, and that's the new model. A24 is leading that, and all the.
So we're gonna
Parasite, for
film
example.
2.5 hours of content. We're gonna drop it in a select few 2-hour movie, the 2-hour cut.
Yeah.
And then in a month it'll come out on Netflix, that same 2-hour cut.
Yeah.
And then in a month or two after that, after the hype has fallen off, and now it's like, okay, now we can uncut full length or additional now
Director's
airing in
cut.
select theater, director's cut or whatever. So they just get the double dip. It's smaller chunks they're going for, but they get to go back in multiple times.
Yep. The movie Parasite, for example, they're re-releasing it as a black and white film. I'm like,
Same cut?
same cut, nothing
That's
extra.
fucking ridiculous.
People will still go because it's like it's the art, you know, like the way they see it, it's a different way, you know.
There's no way they're gonna release it to like 3,000 theaters and
it'll be
like
smaller.
it'll be like just the artistic fucking
Art
theaters,
houses
right?
and shit. Yeah, like TIFF will definitely show it, which.
If I went to go back and see a movie that I already know about and I'm watching the extended version of it, I would hope. And what's your thoughts on this as a movie maker? You would hope that first scene is different. I don't want to wait halfway through and there's 2 scenes different in the middle. I want the beginning to be different and the ending to be different at the very least.
Yeah.
The ending has to be different.
Well, I would rewatch a movie. That's just me personally. So I wouldn't mind if it's a good movie and I'm rewatching. But I understand what you're saying in terms of like I
want to
want
off the top
something
be
new.
like, sick.
Bro, I want something brand new.
Yeah.
I want to be fucked. Like, I want to walk in and be like, oh shit, I thought I was coming to see this movie.
Like, remember in Parasite, the very first scene, they're looking for the Wi-Fi connection? If I went to go see it and it's just black and white and he's looking for the Wi-Fi connection, I'm like, why did I come here?
Black
What
and
the
white,
fuck?
baby.
I remember this movie fully. This is sick. But like, I could actually see that movie being very good in black and
It's
white.
fair. It looks very good.
You know? Just that whole flooding scene. I feel like that was meant.
Yeah,
that
man.
almost seems like a old age thing, not a new age,
Yeah.
current
'Cause
times thing.
the way it's made, it's like it's made from an old film eye. If you watch it and watch like old Japanese movies, like not the regular fighting movie, like there's this movie called Seven Samurais.
Yeah, what's the name of that
Classic.
director? That's like one of the
Ozu.
original like
Ozu.
Ozu.
Yeah.
That's like he's like a known
Yeah.
big time.
No,
He's
one
the
of
original who set up that style or something.
That style, yeah. The camera movements are there, the blocking is there. Like there's multiple things happening. It's so.
What do they
nice.
teach you in film school, by the way? Is it worth it? Because I've heard someone say it's not really worth it.
Well, I didn't go to film school per se. I just took film theory.
That
So-
seems even less useful, to be honest.
It's no, to be honest,
Film
it's
theory.
very useless.
The
But
teacher just comes in front of the class, there's a long silence, and he goes, why? Right? And everyone just starts writing.
Bro, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
not even gonna lie,
that's
it's about the whys, bro.
Yeah, right. But why did they light it like that? And he's holding the patches on his elbows.
Because they always have a patch.
And the circle frame glasses, yeah, you know.
If you're teaching film, you better have fucking patches on your elbow, bro. But I think one time I wrote an essay on the political aspects of South Park. Remember the South Park movie?
Yeah. With Saddam Hussein and the devil.
yeah. I had to write about a fucking 300-word essay on this.
That's nothing. You mean 3,000?
3,000. I said
yeah, 300 is a paragraph.
That's like a paragraph.
Yeah, right. You didn't even. That's the intro.
I'm like, yeah, it's fucked, bro. 300 words, bro. I don't
this
even know.
is ESL. Were you in ESL in university, bro?
Nah,
the
bro.
South Park movie is very controversial. Devil is shown.
It's so fucked. But that's why they teach you, man. It's really just an understanding of like why these films are being made, why they're important now, why they were important. Like the 70s, I watched a bunch of films from the 70s, and that's really like, I think that really drew my interest.
I just watched Raging Bull like a month ago because I kept hearing it like, oh, it's no Raging Bull. It's Raging Bull.
It's
Raging
close,
Bull.
but it's not. I know. What do you think of it?
I thought, I'm so used to movies now where it's like the good guy it's gonna end well for the protagonist.
Yeah.
That's 90% of movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna end well for like Avengers. Oh fuck, there's a problem. Someone just died. Oh, they're all coming back to life or whatever. Like it's gonna end well, right? But that movie specifically and those older movies like Chinatown, I'm obsessed with Chinatown, man.
It's a classic, bro.
Bro, I heard all about what's his name?
Jack Nicholson.
No, not Jack Nicholson. I want to say Truman Capote. Who's the director of Chinatown?
Chinatown, the director
The
of
rapist.
Chinatown?
The pedophile.
Roman Polanski.
Yeah, Roman Polanski. So I heard so much bad shit about him, how he had to flee to France or whatever. I'm like, man, fuck that guy. And then I watched that movie. I was like, holy fuck. You know, that movie is like, bro, that movie, the score, the music they used for it, the ending, just like the ending to Raging Bull. It's like a real ending. Like it seems realistic and tragic. Yeah. And like, you're like, holy fuck, that's a movie. Like, it did not end well in both these cases. I feel like there's not a lot of movies nowadays where it doesn't. They always kind of ends well. Parasite is that's why it won everything. I feel like. It's a great example of like shaking it up where the protagonist isn't happy and like. But all of A24's videos pretty much.
Well, that's why they're one of the. I think this is like an ad for them at this point, but
yeah, Uncut Gems,
I love them.
He got shot in the head at the end. That's the most old school like.
Oh, you gotta believe that, bro.
No, why? Yeah. By the way, that's spoiler alert. It's been what? How many months?
You should see it.
No, I'm not bleeping shit. If you haven't seen it yet, that's on you. It's still a great movie, but he does get shot in the head at the end. Spoiler alert.
Well, but. Well, speaking of that, though, like I understand what you're saying, and that's why they go for those movies, because the way they see it is like movies are supposed to be an experience that you enjoy there while you're watching it. For that 2 hours, it's an escape from reality. So a lot of their movies are like very escapist. So you're watching this place like Midsummer, you're going to fucking the mountains of Sweden. I've never been, but I can describe it now based on what I've seen, right? If you watch Avengers, it's like, oh, I don't even know where the city is. I have no idea. I just know these guys live somewhere. It's hard to pinpoint reality when you watch those movies, you know? And that's why A24 wouldn't buy them. You know what I'm saying? So like Chinatown, for example, they ground you in this reality. You're in this world where this guy's going insane, trying to find the water. It's the whole water thing, right? Yeah. So you're invested in, I want to see his next move. I want to know what you know, like you're following it. Raging Bull, same thing. Like you're grounded in their reality. But the movies now, if it has that's the way I see it. If it has a happy ending, then I just need to know the premise, and I'm like, okay, that's.
And you fill in the blanks, kind of thing.
Fill in the blanks. Like it's easy to fill in the blanks of the movies they make it now.
Yeah, man, that's how I just watched the other day. Went and watched Bad Boys, the new Bad Boys.
Classic.
Guy, we walked out.
That's black excellence. That's 100% black.
No, we walked out 15 minutes before the end, and I actually talked to people. I'm like, I liked it.
Shit.
I liked it. It's just I don't know what I was expecting. It was
You
just
know
more
what
on
you
1 and
expect,
2.
yeah.
but it was just cheesier right off the top. They gave you that cliche scene where it's like the cliche dynamic where it's like, I guess I don't know why I'm mad, because this is kind of like, this is what I paid for. This is what everyone kind of knew it. Like the beginning scene is fucking Will Smith racing in a Porsche and Martin Lawrence scared, like, slow down. You know, like that dynamic right off the top. And he's driving backwards and it's like, oh my God, what are we watching here? And I realized something. I don't know if it was that the theater was dead. A movie seems a lot shittier when the theater is dead, because when it's a packed theater, that the emotion of the scene is kind of like, it radiates and it like what's the word I'm looking for? It resonates. So it's like, oh, there's a deep silence, or there's like a this laugh, or there's like a emotional, and you just feel it more because you're surrounded by hundreds of people that are feeling that. But this theater, because we went in the middle of the day, had like 31 people and it was a full theater, right? And it just there was a couple laugh points that were so empty that just took me out of the movie, man. Like that should have been a big laugh.
Bro, I see that though. It's interesting to say that, because like most movies now, like for example, I guess like Uncut Gems is the perfect example. You saw it in the theaters, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Like Uncut Gems? Yeah. Remember when they shot him in the head? Like that, you see, I don't know if you felt the energy in the theater when that happened. Like when they shot him.
It was just like,
everyone just went,
it was confusion. I remember
felt that,
like,
bro.
Huh?
That's when I knew, oh shit, this is like a big movie. Because like when you watch, it was packed, no doubt, because when like one of the first few days it came out. But the energy, like you just said, the energy of everyone involved in it, you see for a fact they're not there because they know the actors in it. No one's there because it's Adam Sandler's movie. Like if you want to see an Adam Sandler movie, it's best if you watch it on your phone.
Happy Gilmore or some shit like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like you want to watch that 240p on YouTube. You don't want the quality doesn't matter. At all, right? But the idea they're there because the movie is so immersive and everyone's involved in it while watching it. Like Bad Boys, for example, if I'm going to watch it, it's because it's fucking Will Smith and Manta Lawrence. I want to go see what the fuck they're up to. It's just
a star draw or whatever you want to call it, right? Star power.
Star power, that's about it.
But it was such a buzzkill. It's like watching Raging Bull and then going and watching Bad Boys for Life or whatever it's called. And
right after.
Kind of like, it's such cookie cutter movie. Textbook. Like, at the beginning, they established them driving backwards. They're still badasses. They're 40, and Martin Lawrence's neck is fat as fuck, but they still got it like they had it in 2003, right? That's the first scene. That's what. And then it goes, Juero, Mexico, and it cuts to the scene to establish the problem and the antagonist, right? And some guys just. Some guy who doesn't look like a beast is like murdering like 40 guys around him, and it's like they casted him weird. He doesn't really
good audition, bro.
And you're just like, and then it goes back to this, and they're like, we're gonna live forever. You know what I mean? And then it goes back to Mexico of like the bad guy's mother being like, go to America, and shows a face of Will Smith, and it's like, oh my God, this is
so bad.
This is so like textbook, like establish the problem, like go through act one. Like I'm like, holy fuck, like you see everything coming, like you said, everything,
which
and
is
even
why
the humor,
even
the humor, like he goes in and kills everyone, and you know the chief is about to be like, well, I told you to play by the book. He's like, well, they shot at me first.
You're like, oh,
that's the whole
classic
movie. You killed 48 people.
Bro, like Parasite, for example, that's why it's like we're just talking about it being like a good movie, and you can see why it's a good movie because it's broken down so well. They established the problem, but it's so subtle you don't even notice that is the problem, you know, because it started the whole Wi-Fi thing. They're like, oh, okay, so we can't get Wi-Fi, which means we need to upgrade our lives, basically. If you put your thing close to the ceiling, you get.
I didn't even think of it like that. You're like,
but
you're physically below the street.
Physically,
that's why they have all those windows showing the street level. They're watching the guy pee, the drunk and stuff.
And then when they switch to the big house, when they look out through the window,
they go upstairs.
Serene.
Oh, and boy, the house for Parasite.
The house,
like, man, imagine someone actually. That's a real house. Someone lives there.
Yeah, bro.
What a big ass window, bro.
Dope. I love it. But it tells you, and then the whole switch is right in the middle. It's
right
simple.
When,
the doorbell. It's a real switch. It's so subtle, but you're invested in the story, bro, because they build it up to that. The moment you hear that doorbell, you're like, what's gonna happen? This might be the switch. It's like two movies in one, bro. the switch is just that doorbell. She enters, the movie changes, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't a comedy anymore.
This is a weird,
This is a weird
Korean thing
Some
now.
shit I have no idea."
This
you know?
is straight up now. This is a Korean movie.
Yeah.
That's when it got into Korean movie mode. It's like an hour into it.
Better be
It's
it
like
up, man.
weird. The stakes changed.
They
Some
changed to
weird
like some
thing.
weird shit. Like what
Yeah, what the
the
fuck?
fuck is this? But it's good, man.
We'll give it.
Yeah.
At the end, there's a guy in the basement. If you haven't seen.
Oh fuck, bro. Yeah, should we just start spoiling every movie ever made, bro?
That doesn't even make any sense out of context. Number
Yeah, you
one.
gotta see it. You
Number
gotta know
one.
it.
And number two, how many months? What Shawshank at the end? They get out of prison.
Fuck, bro.
What is that a spoiler? You know what I mean? Like, what do I like? How much time do we have to get? If it's been a month,
You know what movie?
Parasite
you
has
can't spoil?
won everything. It's
Yeah.
been out for a year.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no such thing as spoiler alert.
You want to know one movie you can't spoil? Friday. Spoil Friday.
Friday, like with Ice Cube.
Chris Tucker and Ice Cube. Spoil it, bro. There's no.
I don't even remember how it ends.
Bro, you can't.
It's just Friday is like Seinfeld of a movie. You know, it's really about nothing.
That tells you all you need to know about those kind of movies, which is good. Like I love them, but it's a different kind of movie. It's very.
I'd much rather watch Friday than Bad Boy. This new Bad Boy,
Bro, easily.
At least that was a different movie.
That was a different movie. It's the 90s, bro. They made good, solid movies, even if they had the same flaws. But you see why. And also it's cheaply made too. How much did they pay the guy that was on his dad, the guy that just died from Boondocks?
Oh, I forgot.
John Witherspoon.
I forget.
That's
Yeah,
Black
the comic.
Excellent,
He used to
yeah.
apparently used to be killing like.
Bro, they paid him
touring.
about $2,000 for the whole movie.
Oh no way!
Because they didn't.
Because it was
it's
so
out
low
of
budget
pocket,
or
bro.
whatever. Yeah.
So
And he killed it too.
killed it, bro.
Don't nobody go in there for. I forget how his part is. He's just always in a wife beater and shit like
Trying
that.
to always eating something, bro. I love those characters.
But bro,
Yeah.
let's land this bitch, man. We've done about an hour.
Bro, well, Black Excellence, man.
Yeah, Black Excellence, Black Thought. You know what I
I
mean?
really,
Just-
yeah. I feel like this is what. Okay, to summarize this whole film conversation,
yeah.
I really think like we're in a new era of like we should be trying to make. If the medium is comedy for us or like film, to a pivot, you know, like if I'm like I love film and I'm able to do both, so I really think we should try to do shit that like represents reality in a way that can, even if it's for fun, even if we're making fun of like things that are happening. But I think like, for example, I still don't. I really want to enjoy the ride of like doing it, and not be pressured by everything else. Because I think that changes
The pressure of like success or like performance,
Yeah.
like you haven't set your bar yet, so to speak, on a grand level.
No.
You know, once
definitely
you
not.
like Jordan Peele, once Get Out was widely acclaimed, then his whole life changed.
Yeah.
After Get Out was out and won everything and did all it did, now him writing and everything changed completely.
Yeah, he
Now
has to
they're
do a certain kind of
up.
thing.
You gotta up. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're known for a certain thing.
Yeah.
There's a certain bar you've set. Now
Yeah.
you gotta like meet or exceed that bar,
Yeah.
right? Like this new movie, I didn't even watch it, but people be like, "Did you watch what is it, We or whatever the fuck it was called? His next
Oh
one,
yeah, us. Yeah.
Us, yeah.
Oh,
Them,
God,
yeah. What's
bro.
the pronoun or what is it? What the fuck? Like,
That's true.
everyone's like, "Did you watch Us?" I'm like, "Nah, not yet." You go, it's not as good as Get Out. Like that dynamic, that reality, that existence.
Yep. And he
we're
had a bigger budget.
You're not there yet.
I'm not-
And there's a
I'm happy
freedom
I'm
in
not
that.
there.
And there's a freedom in them being like, it's not as good as X and X.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is good, but like also you end up ruining like the guy that made Moonlight.
That won all the stuff because
That won all the stuff
it
'cause of-
signaled. It was like virtue signaling all the things.
All the things that he
Yeah.
needed. Do you know his next movie? It's a really good movie based on the book. It's a book called If Beale Street Could Talk. It was written by that's not the name of the book, but it's adapted from the book, so it's pretty much that's the book. They just made the book into a movie. And it's a really good movie, but based on the fact that he just did Moonlight, bro, I was watching it and I was like, yeah, he tried. Like he
With
tried.
this new one?
Yeah, with his new, it came out like 2 years ago. People didn't even notice
Yeah.
that he's done something after that, you know?
That's a shame.
Bro, it's fucking wild, man. Also, look, I haven't plugged this too. The guy in the movie is a Canadian dude from Toronto. And
The guy who made Moonlight?
No, the guy that's in the Moonlight guy's new movie, If Beale Street Could Talk. He's from Canada. Shemir Moore. Shout out to that dude. He's like, I know someone that knows him, so if they ever listen to this, it's straight up. Yeah, man. But what else? I was gonna just say Uncle Tim's. Watch that.
Yeah. You made my boy here, Conrad, made a nice parody satire short film relative that's based off of Uncut Gems called Uncut Gems.
Hell yeah, man. It's
Related to Tim Hortons Canada. Fucking, it's a Canadian story. I'm gonna plug it under the description.
Yeah.
Check that out for sure. That's an amazing work.
Please
that
check
actually
it out,
shows
man.
like the level that you're at. I like how you put A24 at the front.
Bro, if they want to sue, I need them to sue
Come
so we
for
can
us,
argue,
yeah.
you know?
Bro, the cease and desist letter, if they sent you one, bro, you would frame that.
I'm for it easily.
Guarantee
I'm waiting
you
for an
it.
A24 send it.
Cease and desist. That's that black thought right there.
Bro.
Yo,
But
on my end,
yeah.
March 25th, if you're in London, Ontario, my callback comedy show
Yeah,
with Chris
yeah.
Robinson headlining. We got Max Sheldrick featuring, and James Hamilton. It's gonna be sick. I'm gonna be hosting it, doing time off the top. It's gonna be amazing. We got an amazing venue to run at. It's perfect for comedy.
Yeah.
Check the description. I'll put the Eventbrite link in there. But yeah, London, Ontario, March 25th, 8 p.m. This show's gonna be sick. Hopefully, this one's gonna go off with a bang. That first one was sold out back in November, and it took me a minute to find another good venue. But yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be legit. And yeah, and just as far as the podcast stuff, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, rate, review it 5 stars. You know, Spotify, give it a follow. And
Hell yeah, bro.
as always, man, thanks so much for listening. I appreciate all the listeners. The comments and some DMs have been fucking sick. I appreciate it. I feel like it's slowly becoming a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Which is sick. It's a good feeling.
Man, I'm very happy, man. Can I mention the fact that I did the second episode?
What do you mean? Like
of
this is...
No, I
Yeah,
did the second one, and this is the 40 something.
Yeah. Oh,
one,
yeah. Conrad, if you go back, and the episode number 2 was this guy. It was called The African Ice Hustler. This guy used to sell ice in fucking Nigeria.
Bro, I had
Do
some
you
crazy
know of
times.
a higher pressure job than selling ice in Africa? That's high pressure sales, man.
Hey, man, we have a good business background. Proud of it.
Fuck yeah. But this is going to be episode 43 or so, probably.
Yeah.
We'll see when it comes out. But yeah. Thanks for listening to Immigrant Section. Tell your friends about it. Come back next week. Peace.
Peace, my man. Thank you.
Easy.
Okay.